Okay, I've opened up my settings. The first question would be, can I just do this on the fly? Let's see. It says it's that time. It currently set to 8:50. Yeah, it's a fair bit later than before. Let's try setting it to 9 o'clock. Go. Change. Now my computer says it's 9. What do you think, Fez? Did any of them change? Oh, the blue is the minute hand, isn't it? I think I just went right past it. Okay. Change. Let's go back to like 8:55. I don't think that they're synced up with normal time. Change. Okay. So good news. Fez updates my time live. We don't have to... You guys can't see me changing the clock really, but... Ah, shit. No. What? Oh god. It might start glitching out for me, clicking in and out of it a lot. But at the very least we can like live edit this. Let's do 58. Yeah. There we go. We're being meta. Let's see. So you're pointing to the bottom right. You're pointing like just past up. Okay. So we did the second hand already. We did the minute hand. Next one's probably hours? So let's change one of them by 12 hours. It's I currently have it saying 8. Let's just change it to AM. There we go. Okay, it's the green one that moved. The green one moved like crazy. Okay. Let's add 10 hours, because it looks like the green one is just like maybe 2 after the halfway point. So I want to add just a little bit less than half of the 24-hour cycle to it. 18 o'clock would be 6 p.m. Change. Yeah. Okay. Incredible. You found every single cube and anti-cube. That's quite an achievement. If I were you, I'd go back to that Stargate. Wait, I found all of them? But there's clearly another thing here. What? At the end... Wait. But there's more things to do. Question. Alright. So you change somehow. The only remaining thing to change... Well, just three things, yeah. We've done seconds, minutes, hours. I have days, months, and years. So we're on December 31st. Let's try removing... Let's go to December 15th. That went back. It was the bottom right before, right? Now it's the top right? Okay. December 12th. Whoa. Okay, that moved like crazy. That moved way too much to be based on what month it is. So I'm changing the days right now. But if I changed by only 3, why did it change by like 50%? Unless it's by how many days through the week we're in. That's what it is. I only moved it by 2 and it went all the way that far around. So it's a 7-day cycle. So let's try the 15th. Wait, the 15th is the first one I did. So I must be off by 12 hours. So I need, instead of going by a whole day, I need to rewind by like 12 hours. So go back to the 14th, and then... No, stay at the 15th. The clock was set to 7 p.m., so it's set to 7 a.m. Yeah. What? Are there more anti-cubes than... Incredible, you found every single What the fuck? Did my game glitch? What the... what just happened? Did I somehow get an extra anti-cube I wasn't supposed to get? I don't understand. So I've done you already. Yeah. Is that everything in this room now? It is. We've solved the clock. That wasn't that big of a deal. I should have stuck around and done it via the system clock the moment I realized that was what it probably was when I first got here. It was my first instinct, but I thought that I'd have to reboot the game every single time or something like that. I didn't realize it was just going to live reflect my current clock so accurately, which is very convenient. Speaking of which, now that we're done with it, I should really turn my clock back on. Set time automatically. There you go. Yeah, let's be correct about the time. Really hope that all these changes to what time of it is didn't somehow fuck up my OBS, which names my files after what time they're recorded at. It's probably fine. I think it creates the name when you start the recording anyway, and I don't think it's actually relying on that continuously. I think it just checks real quick to name it in the moment. Are we down to just 2 rooms? The impossible one and the opaque one? Confusing one? And then the ending, I guess. I think. I have nothing to go on. You maybe. Let's check my notes that I have so far. Let's see. What's the random crap I had written down? Oops, I'm knocking stuff over. Security question hint. My first half... Oh, right, I have this written out of order because I didn't write down the other one at first. Please answer this security question. What is my name? Security question hint. My first half is what it is. The second... the second half is half of what made it. My first half is what it is. My second half is half of what made it. Alright. Next page I have is the one where I translated what numbers look like. Trapped in a Fez factory. Please send help. Okay. Not useful. I don't think. Then I have a bunch of codes written down. Pretty sure I've used those by now. Let's get rid of those. I think I just accidentally rubbed that directly against the microphone. The points constellate conspire to... The points constellate conspire to create shapes. I think it's the points constellate is one sentence. The next sentence is conspire to create shapes. Yeah, I didn't split the sentences correctly. The points constellate, sentence 1 or phrase 1. Sentence 2 is conspire to create shapes. Sentence 3 is shapes to tessellate. The first half is what it is, the second half is what made it. Tessellate. Points. Constellate, create shapes. Shapes to tessellate. I'm just curious because we had that whole outro sequence that painted all these things as being a series of separate things. Like, how do I put this? You had that whole outro sequence that was all about like the ending. It's like the ending of Men in Black with like the marbles, where it was just like this thing is inside this thing is inside this thing is inside this thing. Aren't you small? That kind of stuff. I should go back to the warp point. Am I near a warp point right now? I think I'm gonna do the other ending just because I have all the other anti-cubes, and then we'll look into whether or not I can even do any of the other stuff. And here's where I don't from here on out I might disappoint people, because this is the part of the game that put me off of playing the game at all. Ow. Because I thought that this stuff might be more of the game, but we've reached that point now. Like the reasonable puzzles is what we've largely just finished now, and anything beyond this point is a little more in the territory of why I didn't want to play this game at all. Because I was worried that this super obscure shit was more of the game than it actually turned out to be. So from here on out, I don't know which puzzles are solvable reasonably and which ones aren't. So I might end up just performing them for you, basically. I might just, like, look into what exactly goes into solving it and show you guys what that answer turned out to be. At the very least, in the case of the black obelisk, I think I'm about to go do some research about how the black obelisk works and show you what the internet currently knows about it or something. Because that'll be interesting. I'd like to know too, but the fact that it took people years to come up with anything means that I'm not going to be able to like crack that code in a let's play. That's a whole different category of puzzle. That's like global warming levels of puzzle. Like, that's not like how do I solve this portal room? It's like, how do I solve famine? I mean, I enjoyed that comparison, and that's all that really matters. Hello, Tesseract. But yeah, when I heard about the crazy stuff, it was one of those things, it was like EVE Online, is how I'd compare it. I heard about this game all over the place because it was just all over the place for a while. But one of the main places I heard about continuous discussion about this game back when it came out, like 5 years ago or whatever, was the Giant Bombcast, which I listened to a lot back then. Listen to a bit less now. I still like all the people involved, but they split into two separate offices, and I liked those people together instead of split into two separate podcasts, like segregated from each other. It's just less enjoyable that way. There we go. But at the time, they were just so hype about this game. But the more I heard about this game, and the more work it sounded like people were putting into it, the more it sounded like EVE Online, where EVE Online is this MMO that is actually, by most accounts, really boring to play or really mundane, but it creates really interesting stories that people really enjoy. There it goes. And so, oftentimes, reading news stories about the crazy stuff that's happened in EVE Online the last few months or whatever at any given time is more entertaining than playing it. I kind of thought that this game was that kind of puzzle game. Like, it was that. I thought it was that for puzzle games, basically. So I was afraid to play it based on the crazy stuff I heard. But apparently, there's way less crazy stuff than I thought, and a lot of the stuff is just a neat puzzles thing. What do you mean? Oh. I got one of those a while ago. I don't remember how I got it. Wait, do I? No, that was... Was that the constellations in the observatory? That was... I think that was the blinking dots I saw. I was able to decode that really easily, actually. It was, like, weirdly easy. Help me. I don't think I'm getting a second ending until I solve the other things. Well, that's pretty straightforward in that what I need to do next as far as what to do there. Because there's nothing else left on the map. It's just these two rooms. So these two rooms you see here that aren't solved. I'm not looking at either of them right now, but I'm kind of getting in an angle where you can see both of them. Must be the locations of the other two pieces of this heart. Which I guess I needed all the anti-cubes to open this door, but not to actually solve it. Unless... Ow. Man, Gomez dies a lot. Poor guy. Oh wait, water. Yay. I think I'm wrong about what to do. If I want to see the other ending, then I think what I need to do is go back to the previous ending. Because when I was doing that... Would I go here to go back? Yeah. when I was doing the previous ending, the cube filled up with how many cubes I had so far, and then tried to jumpstart a few times, and then failed because I didn't have every anti-cube yet. So I think the second ending is probably in the same ending again. Easy enough to get back to, especially since I'm already in the main hub. Yeah, this is probably the finale, unless the last chunk takes a long time to do or something. But I think we're just about done here. With the black monolith, you might be like, well, you're not even gonna try? Might be what you're thinking, because I'm not really trying. But looking at it, I have nothing to go on. It's just sitting there, being a monolith. Like, there isn't a visible puzzle to solve in that room as far as I can tell. Which would explain in part why people have probably been working on it for so many years. That stuff terrifies me. That's just not what I get in puzzles for. At the very least, I like to have some idea of what the puzzle is I'm trying to solve, and not just guess wildly. Oh boy. That's not how I got up there last time, is it? Is that the one that's close enough? Yeah. No! I somehow slightly mispressed the A button. As you know, the A button is a very, like, tenacious little bastard that evades capture. No! Oh. I didn't get that initial run. This is weird. They, I think they increased my jump height, but by and large, the way they actually simulated this gravity change, oh god, was by just slowing the whole game down by a fair bit. Let's go over here. They definitely just made the whole game slower, including your, like, your rotation, your controls, and so on. They're being economical with their designs. Hope it works. Yay, it didn't do the glitchies. It just worked. We did it. I think that was the goal of the whole game, basically, right? Was to fix the cube. You see a messed up cube and you gotta fix it. And there we did it. So if the first one was like an ending, then this one's like the good ending or the true ending or something. I don't even know if the next one will be an ending or if it'll just be like, you did it. You did the weird, insane thing that no human was ever supposed to solve. Wait. Camera's not following me. Help. There we go. Oh no, this is weirding me out. I'm just a little dude now. I don't matter anymore. Is that what's going on? No, come back. I'm almost there. I made it. Haha. I'm on top of the world. You come back. I'm protagonist. Come back. I'm from the last generation of people, I think, that ever saw televisions do that. Like, that's going to be a point of reference that's going to disappear for people because they've never seen a TV do the pchwing, like shrink down to a line and then a dot thing, which is kind of a resonant visual to use, I suppose, for this game. They did the Men in Black ending again, basically, where everything is tiny. You did all this, but you're just inside one world, and that world's just inside of one solar system, and that's just inside of one other word galaxy, and that's inside of one universe, and then you turn it off. That kind of thing. There isn't so much of a huge story, you're just kind of like fixing, I don't know, the stability of your universe or something? I've already seen the credits, I don't think I need to watch them again. They're not very short. The last time I gained the ability to see in first person, which admittedly, it might have been neat if that came a little sooner, honestly, in the playthrough sequence, because its usefulness was actually really limited. In fact, yeah, I don't know. I guess it depends on whether or not they wanted first person visuals to be a puzzle in the game, or if they wanted it to be a narrative mechanic. Because there's like an emotional punch to being able to suddenly see the whole world from a different perspective out of nowhere. That definitely is a thing. But like seeing the whole game from a completely different perspective changes things in a major way. But it doesn't affect gameplay, aside from seeing that some stuff's written on the floor in like 4 rooms. Ah, there you are. The same thing as last time. It could have been cool if they used it more. Although, even that, like, if they wanted to use it more in the campaign, they'd have to be careful. What they did is they carefully signposted the locations where you needed to use first person, so that you wouldn't, so you could actually find them later. Once you realized what one of them was, you could find all of them. Because they're also clearly signposted. Whereas elsewhere in the game, if it was all throughout the entire game, it wouldn't be signposted like that is the problem. But what you could do is you could gate access to like half the game. And you only get access to that part of the game via like a door you can only see in first person. And then everything past that point would be designed with the first person mechanic in mind. That's more or less the way it'd probably have to be handled, I think. Because yeah, if you let somebody fully explore the entire map and then just let them loose, you just let them loose with this first person mechanic all of a sudden when they've already explored everywhere, then they're like, well, where do I use it? Now instead of deal with it glasses, they're 3D glasses. Alright. You're suddenly drawing attention to the fact that these glasses... Was it always true? That the deal with it glasses were different pixel sizes on each side? Can you even put the deal with it glasses in your game? For copyright reasons? What? You can toggle stereoscopy in the options. Yeah, I was gonna say, kind of have to have 3D glass. I actually might have 3D glasses. Let me check. Yeah, but I don't think these aren't really red-blue, are they? Let's check. Yeah, these aren't working at all. I have a copy of the type of glasses they use in theaters, and they do not work. Lighting is an option. Yeah. Pause on lost focus. Steamworks and all that. Steamworks? Oh, that's just whether Steam's hooked in at all, huh? I was thinking of Steam Workshop, which is different. There you go. Yeah, I'm scared of that immediately. Kudos if you have 3D glasses, but I'm not gonna force everyone to see the game in crappy 3D mode for the handful of people that might actually have 3D glasses on hand. Cute detail, though. It's just too bad it's not the one that you can see with glasses. Can you do... Wait, can you... Can you use theater glasses on a monitor? I don't know. I don't know what the technology is in there. Because that might be polarized and non-polarized light or something like that. And if it's that, then you wouldn't be able to generate that in your video game. I don't think so. I don't think a monitor can choose whether it's light or is polarized or not. So if it's that kind of trick, then glasses would only work on the projector with the dual projector. I don't know. I'm just guessing, though. I'm just guessing based on something I know about light, and I actually know nothing about at all about theaters and how they do 3D. Whatever they do now seems to be like it's probably more complicated than it used to be when theaters were red and blue. I saw Spy Kids 3D in red-blue 3D with fucking Elijah Wood and shit. It was... Even as a kid, that was bad. Alright, did I even get anything? Did I just unlock the... Hi, square. Hi, bird. Square. Why, though? Let's see. There's still these artifacts. Do the artifacts do something or not? There's lines on this one. I mean, here's the book. 3-part bound, and it's got that infinity symbol we see everywhere in the game. The Mobius strip. And this one's just numbers. These ones I find particularly uninteresting because they're just all the letters and numbers in the game that the language has. So I'm not sure how that would be inherently a puzzle. I don't know. Let's book it back to that password place and see if I can figure out what that could be. But overall, I think that was it. I think that was the ending, but I'm not super sure.